ओके मैम।
स्क्रीन दिख रही है आपको मेरी?
यस मैम, यस मैम।
ठीक है, कर दीजिए। Good afternoon, everyone. Today we'll be discussing about the e-payment systems that are prevailing in India. First of all, let me introduce what e-payment is. Whenever you do any payment, any transaction where the money is involved, where you are paying money to anybody or you are receiving money from anybody, and that is done through the electronic means. That means that can be your laptop, your computer, or your mobile phone. So whenever any electronic device is involved in making the payment, that is known as the e-payment. Here we have the formal definition. An e-payment system is a way of making transactions or paying for goods and services through an electronic medium. That is what I just discussed, without the use of check or the cash. So here the cash or the check is not involved. So it is a kind of e-money, and the money is deducted directly from your account or your wallet, and then it is being credited to any other account. It is also called as an electronic payment system or online payment system. We have two types of electronic payment systems. The first one is the credit payment system, and the second one is the cash payment system. The credit payment system, where you make a transaction right now, you pay money right now, but the money would be deducted from your account later on. Maybe after 1 month, maybe after 6 months or so. It is a kind of EMIs when you purchase something, but you don't need to pay right now, you can pay later. That is a credit payment system. You are not paying right now. The second system is a cash payment system, where the cash is being deducted from your account at the moment of the transaction. जब आप ट्रांजैक्शन कर रहे हैं उसी टाइम अगर आपके अकाउंट में से मनी डिडक्ट हो रहा है, that would be known as the cash payment system. I hope these two payment systems are clear. In the first system, you don't need to pay right now, although you do the transaction, but the money would be deducted later on. In the cash payment system, the money would be deducted right now. Now let's talk about some of the digital payment methods prevailing in India. So we have listed out some of the payment systems. The first payment system we will be talking about is the banking cards. So we all are aware of the banking cards, be it the debit card or the credit card. So a kind of plastic card is being issued to you whenever you have an account. Even these days, the credit cards are being given to the people who do not even have the account with the bank. So they just give you a card that contains a chip. The golden chip is there, and these days we have the Wi-Fi cards as well, where you just need to wave them out. So banking cards are being issued by the banks. They have a stored money in the case of debit card, and in the case of the credit card, the money would be deducted later on from your account. You need to make the payment later on. Then we have the USSD. Now USSD is something else. Here we don't usually use the USSD code to make the payments, but it is one of its kind of offline payment system. The electronic media, the mobile phone is involved, but you don't need the internet connection there. You often see whenever you need to check your balance, the mobile phone's balance or the data balance, then you need to run a code, maybe *125# *121# if you want to know about the new schemes. So that code is known as the USSD. So You can also make the payment using the USSD code, where you need to put star. Then every bank has its own USSD. You need to type the USSD code, your account number, your amount that needs to be deducted from your account, and the account number that has to be credited. So you need to do all the formalities and press hash, and then you need to press the call button. The USSD code would run and the payment would be done. So that is how you can make an electronic payment without the use of internet. Okay, USSD codes. Then the third system we have is the Aadhaar enabled payment system, where you need to have your Aadhaar number. You must have seen there are many shops these days who allow labor class people to go there and make the payments. So they just need to have their Aadhaar number linked to their bank account, and they can easily make the payment using the AEPS. Then we have the UPI. UPI is most common these days. We just need to have one UPI number. A wallet is being installed, an application is being installed in your mobile phone. You just need to have other person's UPI number, and you can directly transfer the money from your account to his or her account. Then we have the mobile wallets. Wallets, they just act as the normal wallet where you can store the money. So UPI and mobile wallets are different. In UPI, the money would be deducted from your account. In mobile wallets, the money is stored in a wallet, and then you make the payment out of that wallet. Okay, we'll be coming back to all of these one by one in the later slides. I'm just giving you an overview of all the digital payment systems. Then we have the bank prepaid cards. Sometimes the bank issues some prepaid cards where you need to pay to the bank for that card, and then you can transfer the money. We have point of sales. Point of sales systems are installed in the shops where they have a device. You need to swipe out your card, and then the money is being deducted. So it is also kind of e-payment system where you need to enter your PIN. Internet banking. Every bank has its own website where you need to log in using your credentials, and then you can make the payment directly from your account. Mobile banking, when you use the internet banking on your mobile phone, it is known as the mobile banking. And then we have the BHIM app that also allows you to make payment. It is a kind of UPI which uses a unique ID, and then you can easily make the payments. So here we have listed out these types of digital payment methods, and now I'll be talking about them one by one in the next slide. First of all, we have the banking cards. Cards are among the most widely used payment methods and come with the various features and benefits such as security of payments, convenience, etc. One of the benefits that is being provided by the banking card is that they are safe to use, because if you lose them, if your cards are being lost, then you can suddenly ask your banker to block that card, and then there is no chance of getting it hacked or something like that. Okay, because that would be blocked immediately. But if you lose money, then the money is gone. So that is why here we have the security. At the same time, we have the convenience. You cannot have more than 10,000, 20,000 rupees in your wallet at one time. But through cards, you can have all the money that is there in your bank, and you can make as much payment as you want. So it is convenient to use as well. The main advantage of debit or the credit card or the prepaid banking card is that they can be used to make other types of digital payments as well. That means Cards are used on the point of sales, of course, but apart from that, you can just enter the number of your card, your CVV number, the expiry date of your card, and then you can make the payment using the UPI app as well. Okay, so cards are used to make other types of digital payments as well. For example, customer can store the card information in the digital payment apps. That is what I was talking about. You can link your card with the Google Pay or the Paytm, and then you can make the payment. Some of the most reputed and the well-known cards are Visa, RuPay, and MasterCard. Banking cards can be used for online purchases in the digital payment apps, POS machines, and online transactions. You can simply log into one website, you can enter your card's details and make the payment. You don't need to have internet banking activated or something like that. So this is how we can use the banking cards. Is there any question? Okay, let's come to the next point. Yeah, that is what I was talking about, USSD. Another type of digital payment method. A USSD usually starts from the start and it ends with the hash. In between, we have lots of numbers according to our criteria. They can be used to carry out the mobile transactions without downloading any app. So even you don't need to have a smartphone. If you have a keypad phone, then also you can make the payment using your mobile phone. Here you just need to have the USSD that is being used by your bank. These types of payments can also be made with no mobile data facility. You don't need to have the internet connection. This facility is backed by the USSD along with the National Payment Corporation of India. We have one regulatory body to regulate all the digital payments in India, that is National Payment Corporation of India. So USSD is also backed by them. The main aim of this type of digital payment service is to create an environment of inclusion among the undeserved sections of the society. So basically, uh, although the penetration of smartphone is really high, but still we have some sections of the society where people cannot afford the smartphones, or where they cannot afford the data, or the data facility is not provided in that area. So how would you make the payment? So USSD is something that would help people who are living in the remote area. This service can be used to initiate the fund transfer, get a look at the bank statement. So here you can have, make the transactions, you can transfer the money from one account to another account. You can also have the history of your bank statements, and you can also make a balance query. So that is how it works. Another advantage of this type of payment system is that it is also available in Hindi. So if you cannot afford the smartphone, and if you are living in the remote area, then chances are there that you must be illiterate as well. And that is why it is also available in Hindi language, so that you can understand it very well. Next, AEPS, expanded as Aadhaar enabled payment system. It can be used for all banking transactions such as balance inquiry, cash withdrawal, cash deposit payment transactions, Aadhaar to Aadhaar fund transfers, etc. So here the AEPS can be used to make the balance inquiry. Sometimes people don't know how to have a look over their balance, so they just need to go to a shop, give them the Aadhaar number and the bank account number, and then they would be able to give the statement of your balance. It can be used for the cash withdrawal. You can also withdraw your cash. It can also help in the deposition of the cash, payment transactions, and Aadhaar to Aadhaar fund transfer from one account to another account, from one Aadhaar number to another Aadhaar number. All transactions are carried out through a banking correspondent based on Aadhaar verification. There is no need to physically visit a branch, provide debit or credit cards, or even make a signature on a document. This service can only be availed if your Aadhaar number is registered. Just give me a minute. Yeah, sorry, students. There is no need to physically visit the branch or provide the debit or credit card. So usually your bank account is linked with your Aadhaar card. So here you don't need to have an access to the debit or the credit card and even make a signature on the document. Here you just need to have the Aadhaar card, and if your bank account is linked to that, you can easily transfer the money from the bank account. Okay, so Aadhaar card is one-stop solution, and that is why it is being promoted by the government of India. Next we have the UPI. UPIs are there in every application, be it Amazon, Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, and many more. So UPI is a type of interoperable payment system through which any customer holding any bank account can send and receive through UPI based app. So I don't need to make it sure that I have my account in SBI, so you should also have an account in SBI. You can have your account in any of the banks. I can have my account in any of the banks. Even you don't need to have an application, and I can transfer money from my account to yours using the UPI. Okay, the service allows a user to link more than one bank account. This is one advantage of having one single application. There you can link many accounts. Suppose you have 3 accounts in 3 different banks, so you can use only single UPI, and you can have different bank accounts there. Okay, so your UPI would be slightly changed for that, but you don't need to have different applications for them. Then one more advantage of UPI is that you can make the transaction 24/7. Otherwise, if you are making payment by going to your bank's branch, then you have to be there from 10 to 5, and then you have to consider the working days as well. But here, using the UPI, you can make the payment 24/7 and 365 days of the year. The main advantage of the UPI is that it enables users to transfer money without a bank account or IFSC code. You don't need to have another person's bank account. I just need your UPI if I want to transfer the money. I don't need to ask about your bank account details, your IFSC code, your name, etc. Only one UPI ID is enough. All you need is the virtual payment address. The UPI ID is known as the VPA, or the virtual payment address. There are many UPI apps in the market, and it is available on both the Android and iOS platforms. To use the service, one should have a valid bank account and a registered mobile number. Yeah, that is what you need. You need to have one registered mobile number that is linked to your bank account so that they can fetch the information. And there is no transaction charges for using the UPI. Through this, a customer can send and receive the money and make the balance inquiries. So every service is available on the UPI apps. So if you have any question from UPI, AEPS, USSD or banking cards, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll move towards the next type of the payment system. Here is one question. What is USSD? USSD I told you, जैसे आप कभी बैलेंस इंक्वायरी करनी होती है तो आप 1*125# लिखते हैं और कॉल का बटन दबाते हैं, तो आपकी बैलेंस कितना है फोन में या फिर कौन कौन सी एप्लीकेशंस है, तो वो सब उसमें आ जाता है. तो इसी तरीके से एक USSD कोड होता है जो बैंक देता है, और बैंक से आप अपने वहाँ पर आपको अपना बैंक अकाउंट नंबर देना होता है, पेमेंट देनी होती है कि कितनी पेमेंट करनी है, और जिस अकाउंट में आपको पैसे भेजने हैं उस अकाउंट का नंबर देना होता है. तो USSD को यूज करके भी पैसा ट्रांसफर हो सकता है, लेकिन आपको जाकर अपने बैंक में उसके लिए इंक्वायरी करनी होगी कि कौन सा USSD कोड आपके बैंक के लिए यूज हो सकता है, और वहां से आपको ये सर्विस इनेबल करानी होगी. इसमें फिर आपको इंटरनेट की जरूरत नहीं होती, आप सीधा एक जगह से दूसरी जगह ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं पैसा. इंटेरोपेरेबल का मतलब है कि कोई भी सिस्टम जब आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन को यूज करता है, तो हमने यहाँ पर पढ़ा है इंटेरोपेरेबल यानी UPI जो है वो आपकी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन एक UPI लिंक में इंफॉर्मेशन को स्टोर कर देता है. जैसे सपोज आपका बैंक अकाउंट है SBI में, तो आपका सपोज UPI ID हो सकता है योर नेम एट ओके SBI. ज्यादातर UPI SBI का यही होता है, तो उसके थ्रू आपकी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन फेच की जा सकती है कि आपका बैंक अकाउंट क्या है, आपका नाम क्या है, आपका बैलेंस क्या है. यानी ये एक इंटेरोपेरेबल सिस्टम है जो आपकी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन को एक चीज में स्टोर करके रखता है. एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? चलिए नेक्स्ट चलते हैं. नेक्स्ट, मोबाइल वॉलेट्स. A mobile wallet is a type of virtual wallet service that can be used by downloading an application, where you need to download an application like we have the Paytm. The digital or mobile wallet stores the bank account or the debit card information. वहाँ पे हमारे डेबिट कार्ड की इंफॉर्मेशन होती है, या फिर हम अपने अकाउंट की इंफॉर्मेशन फीड कर सकते हैं यूजिंग आवर बैंक अकाउंट नंबर एंड IFSC कोड. अब मोबाइल वॉलेट और UPI में ये डिफरेंस है कि मोबाइल वॉलेट में एक अमाउंट स्टोर हो जाता है. जैसे पेटीएम के थ्रू आप या तो डायरेक्टली अपने बैंक अकाउंट से पेमेंट कर सकते हैं, या फिर आप उसके वॉलेट में कुछ पैसा रिजर्व करके रख सकते हैं, जैसे 5000 10,000 रुपीज आपने उसमें स्टोर करके रख लिए। उसका एक नुकसान है कि you would not be getting any interest on that amount because now it is stored in the wallet. So it is just like your wallet, the physical wallet. So you don't get any interest. अगर आप अपने पर्स में 10,000 रुपए 20,000 रुपए एक महीने के लिए रखते हैं तो उस पर तो आपको कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलने वाला। So similarly, when you store an amount in the mobile wallet, you would not get any kind of interest there. But one benefit of the mobile wallet is that you can easily make the payment. Sometimes the server is down, sometimes your bank is not responding. So just to avoid those situations, you can have some money in there in the wallet and you can directly and easily make the payment. So वो ज़्यादा easy होता है वहाँ से payment करना. Some of the mobile wallets are Paytm, Mobivec, Freecharge, etc. The various services offered by the mobile wallets include the sending and receiving of the money, making payment to the merchant. अब आप उसमें क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, एक तो पैसा ले सकते हैं, भेज सकते हैं, पेमेंट किसी शॉप से अगर कुछ ले रहे हैं तो उनको पेमेंट कर सकते हैं, ऑनलाइन पेमेंट कर सकते हैं, और आप बिल्स अपने भर सकते हैं. तो सम मोबाइल वॉलेट्स में चार्ज अ सर्टेन ट्रांजैक्शन फी, कभी कुछ जैसे पेटीएम में भी एक नॉमिनल चार्ज लगता है अगर आप पेमेंट करते हैं, तो देयर आर सम वॉलेट्स हु चार्ज सम ऑफ द मनी फॉर मेकिंग द ट्रांजैक्शन. The next is the POS terminal. Traditionally, POS terminals refer to those that were installed at all stores where purchases were made by the customers using credit or the debit cards. It is usually a handheld device that reads banking cards. However, with the digitization, the scope of POS is expanding and this service is also available on the mobile platforms through the internet browsers. So usually you must have seen the POS terminals whenever you visit any shop or store. They have a handheld device where you can insert the card, the debit or the credit card, or these days you just need to wave out your card, then enter your PIN and make the payment. Now with the digitization, even some of the mobile phones can also act as the POS terminals. There are different types of POS terminals such as the physical POS, mobile POS and the virtual POS. Sometimes they have a tablet kind of thing. वो POS जो machine होती है उसको ना रख के एक tablet ले लेते हैं and they allow that particular tablet to act as a virtual POS. There again you need to wave out your card, then enter your PIN and then make the payment. Physical POS terminals are the ones that are kept at the shops and the stores. On the other hand, the mobile POS terminals work through a tablet or a smartphone. That is what I just discussed. This is advantageous for a small time business owners as they do not have to invest in expensive electronic registers. So these virtual POS are prevailing these days because those storekeepers, shopkeepers, they don't need to spend or invest money in the physical POS. The virtual POS systems use web-based applications to process the payment. So it just acts like a physical POS, but it is not a separate machine. It can convert your tablet or your smartphone into the POS. Next, internet banking. Internet banking refers to the process of carrying out the banking transactions online. So here you need to log into a website. Every bank has its own address its own designed website where they would be providing you a login ID and the password. You need to enter your login ID, your password, the captcha, and then you would be receiving an OTP. Once you enter that OTP, you would be redirected to your profile, which would contain each and every information about you and your account. How much money is there? How many accounts do you possess in that particular bank? When the transaction was made? How much interest is available to you? You can also verify your ITR there. You can open a new account using your that ID. There are many services which are otherwise being provided in the bank. Every service is being transferred to the internet banking system. Here we have listed out some of those services like transferring funds, opening a new fixed or recurring deposit. You can also close an account. The internet banking is also referred to as e-banking or the virtual banking. Sorry. Internet banking is usually used to make online fund transfers via NEFT, RTGS, or IMPS. So we usually have the three payment systems there. The NEFT is there, RTGS is there, and IMPS is there. IMPS is there for a small amount, but it is most instant. Banks offer customers all types of banking services through their website, and a customer can log into his or her account by using the username and the password. Unlike visiting a physical bank, there are to-time transactions for the internet banking services. Yes, this service is also available 365 days, but some of the services of NEFT and RTGS, they usually have a time period, like from morning 8 a.m. to night 8 p.m. and something like that. So here you have some of the restrictions. Next is the mobile banking. Mobile banking is just like the internet banking, but now you are using your mobile phone to access to your login ID and using your login ID and password, and then you are logging to your website. So everything is just same here, but you are using your mobile phone. Okay. And finally, we have the Bharat interface for money, that is BHIM. The BHIM app allows users to make the payment using the UPI application. So it is also just kind of the UPI application, just like Google Pay and all. This also works in the collaboration with UPI, and the transaction can be carried out using the VPA, virtual payment, and one can link his or her bank account with the BHIM interface easily. It is also possible to link multiple bank. So it is just like the other UPI apps, but it is there by the government of India. Now, what are the benefits of digital payments? When we are talking about the digital payment, so we have seen that it allows you to make payments throughout the year 24/7. You don't need to visit the bank's branch. You can just sit at your home and you can make the payment. There are n number of benefits, and some of them are listed here. First is they are faster, they are easier, and they are more convenient. Of course, if you need to make a payment right now, you just need to click, and within few minutes or even in few seconds, the money would be transferred from your account to another account. It is faster, yes, of course. It is easier, yes. You can just lie at your bed and you can make the transaction, and of course it is convenient. Then it is economical and less transaction fees involved. Many of the UPI applications, they do not even charge the money, so you can use them freely, and they are economical. Next, waivers, discounts, and cashbacks. This is one thing that is emerging these days. If you would make the payment online, you can have the chances of cashback. You can have more of discounts. You can have more of the waivers. So they say that if you would pay in cash, you would not get such things. But if you make the instant payment, then you can avail some of the discounts, additional discounts. Next is the digital record of transaction. You don't need to remember that to whom you paid the money, when did you pay, and how much was returned, etc. Because everything is being recorded in your UPI app. You just need to go to your UPI app, enter the PIN, and you would have the whole history. So it keeps a digital record of your transactions. One-stop solution for paying the bills. Earlier we had to go to the different offices to pay the electricity bill, the water bill, and other things. But now you can pay your bills using the single application. So it acts like one-stop solution for the bills. And next is helps keep black money under control. When everything is digitized, when everything is being recorded by NPCI, then you can keep the black money out of the place. So that is how it can also help you to control, you to have a control over the black money. So these are some of the benefits. If you have any additional benefit, you can write there in the Q&A box, and if you have any query from these benefits, you can ask. Here is one question that what is NEFT? NFT नहीं है, NEFT है, and it stands for National Electronic Funds Transfer. And Vishal is asking about the maximum amount limit. So it varies from one bank to another. So you can just Google it out कि कौन से बैंक की कितनी लिमिट है. Any other question? Okay, let's come to the next point. Now we'll discuss that what are the risks involved in the e-payment systems. Although it has so many benefits, and that is why we all have switched from the physical payments to the electronic payments, but still there are some kind of risks involved. So the first risk is the credit risk. Credit risk means sometimes we believe in cash because if you make the payment earlier and then the transaction is not being completed, or the amount is not being deducted, or it is not being credited to another account, or the product has not been delivered to you, then somewhere it would be a risky thing, and that is why sometimes we prefer cash over the electronic payments. The next thing is the fraud risk. Now we read in newspapers every day that this fraud happened, this and that is happening, and even we receive messages on Facebook and WhatsApp that my account is being hacked, and a kind of URL or a website address is being given to you, so that you just need to go to that particular website and you'll find this discount or that discount. And these are risky things because they can fetch your information, they can ask for your login ID and password. So you have to be very careful while making any electronic payment. And even if you have any e-wallet there with you, so you have to be really careful so that nobody can fraud you, or nobody can take undue advantage out of that. Okay, so the fraud risk is always there when the electronic payments are involved, and that is why the older generation is little bit reluctant about the electronic payments. The next is compliance risk. Compliance risk means sometimes the transaction is not being completed. Okay, so from one place to another, when the money is being transferred from one place to another, sometimes it is being debited but it is not being credited. So that particular risk is also there. That can be minimized if you use the cash. Liquidity risk. When you keep all of your money there in the account or in the wallet, then it always has the liquidity risk because you do not have the cash with you in your wallet. कभी कभी इंटरनेट नहीं चलता, कभी कभी फोन आउट ऑफ charge हो जाता है. So that is why you need to have some cash there in your wallet, and the e-payment system involves the liquidity risk. Then we have the systematic risk or systemic risk. That means sometimes the servers are down. Then what would you do? Sometimes your bank is not responding back. So when you have the glitch in the system, it involves a risk. Then we have the operational and the transaction risk. Operational and transaction risk means sometimes the transactions are not being completed. Sometimes you do not have the right UPI or right account number. So that is also involved in the e-payment system. Then we have the strategic risk. That means all of the companies cannot avail this service because of some of the restrictions. They need to have expertise before going for the electronic payment system. So the strategic risk is there. You have to make a strategy in order to make the electronic payment system enable there in your company or your organization. And finally, we have the reputation risk. That means sometimes when other person is not able to make the electronic payment, then he can be irritated out of your company because they may be expecting for the cash transaction. So that particular reputation risk is also there. As I told you, the older generations, they are not usually in the favor of electronic payments because they think that it is a risky transaction. So the reputation risk is there, and that is why you have to carefully handle them. we'll be talking about the different types of e-money. Different types of e-money. Firstly, we have the identified e-money, and the second type is the anonymous e-money. It is just like the normal cash and check. When the check is being issued from one place to another, then you can easily identify that who issued the check, when was it issued, and to whom it is being issued. So every detail is being shown on the check. But when you transfer or cash from one place to another, suppose I am giving you 10 rupees or 500 rupees, so you cannot identify from where did it come to me, and I cannot identify that where would it go after giving it to you. That means it becomes anonymous. Okay, so that is the difference between the identified e-money and the anonymous e-money. Identified e-money is where the transaction is being identified, that yeah, money came from this place to this place to this, and this place to this. Anonymous e-money that loses its identity once it reaches to the another person. मैंने आपको पैसे दिए, उसके बाद सपोज मैंने आपको कोई पेमेंट की, अब आप आगे करेंगे तो मैं पता नहीं लगा सकती कि वो कहाँ हुई. तो यूजुअली हमारी एनोनिमस ई मनी ही होती है. कुछ आइडेंटिफाइड ई मनी होती है, जैसे क्रिप्टो करेंसी है, या उसमें हम इजीली आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कि कहाँ से पैसा कहाँ आया. सो दैट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द आइडेंटिफाइड एंड द एनोनिमस. मैंने आपको एनालॉजी दिखाई है, जो चेक और कैश में डिफरेंस होता है वही आइडेंटिफाइड ई मनी और एनोनिमस ई मनी में डिफरेंस. सो दैट्स ऑल अबाउट द ई मनी. And in the next class we'll be doing the test of reliability. If you have any question, you can ask. Yeah, I'm sharing the link. Just give me a minute. Let me share the link for this PPT as well. Yeah guys, I have published the link. You can just go to that link and the e-payment system PPT is there. I hope you are able to access my PPT. Just go to that link and let me know if you are not able to open that. Okay, I hope you are able to open the link. Open link nahi ho raha hai. Sagar is saying. Try to open it again. बाकी किसी से भी नहीं हो रहा है क्या ओपन? Sagar, just give it a try. Maybe it would get open. The link is same that I provided in the last few classes. Only the thing is that I uploaded this PPT today itself. So all of my PPTs are available on the same link. The link is not different every time or in every class. The link is same. You can save it and you would find all my PPTs there on the same link. Okay, Bhavya is saying कि अब open हो रहा है. Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next class with the next topic. Bye bye. Take care. धर्मवीर जी, आप क्लास एंड कर सकते हैं मेरी.